Oh man, it's a tie game. It's crazy how it's always a tie game in our debate.
Man, I would think that there's like some illegal betting going off because
You know what? I think what's going on is all of our viewers are eating Buffalo Wild Wings.
man,
Buffalo Wild Wings, if you're listening, you're not a sponsor, but we'd love if you were a sponsor. But they must be, for all you guys who don't know, Buffalo Wild Wings, the commercial, get it, the joke. They used to do the change the game, sprinklers come out, whatever. It's a tie game, so we're moving on to OT. What are the topics today, Melo, for OT? I know it's your favorite portion.
Get to OT. Oh, I mean, this is everyone's favorite portion, no? Yeah, there was some tampering there. I don't know how we ended up tied. Clearly, someone always wins. At least back there it shows it. So the first thing that happened, and it was pretty big. It happened last week when we were just getting off the air, I believe. And it is all these announcements that were made by Disney. They made quite a big splash in the television movies department. And one of those, which a lot of people like, I'm a casual fan of, is Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Do you want to elaborate on that or no?
Star Wars. Yes, they have Disney Plus has a million new shows coming for Star Wars, just opening up the universe, expanding their billion-dollar industry, and hopefully they don't ruin more of the new trilogy that they can. Luckily, they're fixing it with The Mandalorian and Jon Favreau, who's definitely doing something great there. And they have so many new shows coming out.
It was announced that it was 10 brand new or Star Wars original shows. And I mean, I haven't even finished season 1 of The Mandalorian, so
I'm looking forward to the what's the director's name? Tiki something, the one who
the guy who did
Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
He's getting his own show. Obi Wan is getting his own show.
So is Lando. They're doing a lot. And do you think that them doing so many might actually hurt the product, or will you think this is a way of?
No, Star Wars is too big of an industry where it's not going to hurt it.
Yes, but you also. Here's the thing with Star Wars, and I don't want to offend anyone out there.
Star Wars.
I feel like Star Wars fans, like true diehard Star Wars fans, don't ever see anything wrong with any of the Star Wars product. And it's like, oh no, but episode 1 through 3 was so great, and Rogue One was fantastic, and it's like it really wasn't.
Sounds like New York Giants fans.
It definitely.
It's pretty interesting how you brought that up. I think Star Wars fans. I think you're wrong. I believe Star Wars fans actually do trash Star Wars whenever it is trash. I just think you have different variations of Star Wars fans on what they like and what they don't like. And it's just, since there's so many of them, it looks like they all love everything. But I do feel there are Star Wars fans who hated this new trilogy. But there's some who love this one. And there's some that hated the last ones that George Lucas made. The last ones George Lucas made. Some of them I think a lot of people hated them. But I feel the story was actually pretty good, that they weren't like totally thrown out. And of course the OG ones.
I mean, I think episode 3 is fantastic. I love episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 was great, and it's one of my favorite storylines. I love the whole Anakin storyline, which is one thing we're talking about is the Obi Wan, and they're bringing back Hayden Christensen
and Ewan McGregor, like Kenny just said,
Darth Vader.
Oh boy. I mean,
something threw me off about that though, because they said there was gonna be a matchup between Ewan McGregor against Obi-Wan and Darth Vader. I've seen Star Wars movies, and I don't think they're supposed to see each other until later. So I don't know I guess they're just gonna make it up and pretend, nah, don't worry about this. They actually fought here, which they possibly would do, but I don't know how they're gonna do this.
So my question with this is, he's coming back as Darth Vader, not as Anakin.
Correct.
So, what are they gonna adjust the voice box for us to hear him? Is he gonna take it off and we're gonna see Hayden Christensen bald because he's all burned up?
They'll probably adjust his voice. Yeah. And
to sound like Hayden Christensen?
Yes.
Because if there's any other... He's always wearing the suit. How are we going to know it's him? Like
I think that we're going to see his face. I feel they're going to fix it up. They're going to be taking his face on and off. They might have... well, I don't want to say throwbacks.
Flashbacks?
Flashbacks. Jesus. They might have flashback scenes. But yeah, I think they're going to use his voice and just change it up.
I just don't know how I would see that working, because you could have played Darth Vader and we could have said it was Hayden Christensen. Like
they're going to take
Darth Vader is not it's a character that you don't need to see the person in the suit.
They're going to take his mask off.
You know what it is? He hasn't done anything recently. I think his last movie was the last one with like T.I. and Chris Brown. That was really awful. So they're like, hey, Hayden, you doing anything? Nah, man, my career's over. You want to come back and play Darth Vader? Me?
I think this is his opportunity to save his Darth Vader legacy and see his acting chops. They're going to take his mask off, and I feel they're going to explore more of Darth Vader, which I feel would be amazing if you can continue the Darth Vader storyline from the Anakin, and maybe we can see his inner fighting with himself, and maybe his voice. You hear his voice as he's fighting with himself, and how Darth Vader is trying to be the overpowering thought instead of Anakin. I think that'll be cool, because I feel there's still some Anakin in him, where there's an internal battle, and I think that it took many years for the dark side to really get him, because you saw the pain. No spoilers. You saw the pain when somebody passed away, and Anakin was like, "No!" So,
the one I'm most looking forward to is Lando.
You think they're gonna bring back
I think they're
Gambino, childish Gambino?
Yeah, I think that's what the rumor is. Either that, or they'll bring back Donald Glover.
Or is childish Gambino doing ATL still? Or is that Donald Glover doing ATL?
I think Donald Glover does ATL, and then
Atlanta. No, it's called Atlanta or ATL.
Atlanta, yeah. And then Childish Gambino is the one that does Lando. So I think, you can get any one
Lando
of those guys.
Lando did not get a fair shake in that Solo movie, because and when I say Solo, I mean the Han Solo movie, not he had a Solo movie. You get it. Han Solo movie.
And they could always bring back,
because the movie was terrible.
Darth Maul in the Lando series.
I wish they would have brought Darth Maul in this new trilogy. I think that's where they failed. Imagine if you would have brought Darth Maul, you would have had all the fans from the episodes 1 through 3, and then you brought Darth Maul into this new one where Darth Maul actually survived, and then he's making this whole new like Sith Lord. Dope.
But he's so old.
I'm so confused. They're the same dude.
Who's the same dude?
Anakin and Darth. Spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
Spoiler.
Darth Vader.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Come on, Kenny.
Yes.
Sorry, Kenny.
Yes. But when I think it's what you're talking about, Kenny, is what I was referring to with Anakin and Darth Vader. They're the same dude, but in the actual story, he has to forget that he's Anakin. Like he has to be like, I'm no longer Anakin. I am now Darth Vader.
I know exactly what he's talking about.
You should have corrected me.
I wanted to see how far you were going to go.
How did that go over your head? That's why we're joking, man. We're making a meme right now. Oh, boy. We should bring on Kenny right now. Kenny, you want to get on right now? We'll talk about Childish Gambino. But, bro, I loved the original episode 1, 2, and 3. And when I mean love, I completely hated episode 1. I thought it was pointless. I didn't know what the hell they were doing.
You didn't like Qui-Gon Jinn?
Episode 2, you know what? Episode 1 was amazing because of Darth Maul. When he got the best thing in that movie was Darth Maul, and he was just like later, best part of the movie. And then episode 2 got really good halfway through, and then episode 3 was awesome.
I have yet to see episode 2, so I gotta go back and watch that.
Episode 2, I love that scene. Honestly, I think that for me, that's one of the best storylines is Anakin growing into Darth Vader. I love what they did.
I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead on.
No, I was going to say, how would you... So, for anyone out there, if they wanted to rewatch it or watch it for the first time, how would you suggest watching the movies? How they came out?
Great question. There's 2 ways to watch them. You watch the George Lucas way, or you watch it chronologically, right? So the George Lucas way would be the years in which George Lucas dropped the movie. So the George Lucas way is where you start with episode 4. Episodes 4 through 6, then you watch episodes 1 through 3, and then you watch the new ones, which would be 7 to 9. That's the George Lucas way. It's the way he says to watch it. It definitely emphasizes some of the important moments, the surprises. Now, the way I saw it was the chronological way, which is the way I recommend. I had already seen it the George Lucas way, so watching it again many years later this way, I thought it was amazing. I think you see the development of Anakin and the story, that even though the surprise is gone in the original trilogy, it's still exciting to watch because the movies are old and some people might dislike that it's less action, but at least now you know the storyline and what's going on when you watch these 3, and it's more exciting because you know why Luke is there and who Luke is, and you know Yoda, and you see Obi Wan and stuff like that. So it's actually dope. You see how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. So
okay, interesting.
I did like that. I mean, my favorite part about the whole Star Wars series is Anakin. I'm always gonna say it. It's my favorite storyline. Hayden Christensen was trash, complete trash acting. Not all his fault, but trash acting.
How is it not his fault?
I feel the direction and some of the lines they gave him were just, they didn't, I don't think they really, I don't feel they may have not explained to him what to do, and the lines were just kind of like here one-liners, and it just didn't really add to him, and you could have told the story a little better. But man, when you think about it, wow, what a beautiful character, beautiful storyline that Anakin thing was.
No, you're absolutely right. I think it went through, he had the most like trials and tribulation that happened to him. So
I mean, I have a bunch of theories. We can turn this into a Star Wars OT. I honestly feel if Qui-Gon does not die, then we never see Darth Vader.
So you think he would have kept Anakin alive?
If Qui-Gon lives, there's never a Darth Vader. It's Anakin, and he becomes one of the best Jedis of all time. I believe that because I think Anakin, all he wanted was someone to believe in him, and he always needed a father figure. And the way I see it is, Anakin, Qui-Gon was the first person to go, "Hey, you are amazing. You're amazing, and you're going to be amazing, and I believe in you." And that was the first time somebody believed in him. And then when you would see Anakin with the Jedi Council, they will all tell him, "Well, you ain't shit. You're going to actually no, you're not it." And then even Obi Wan was not sure about him. Obi Wan was like, "Oh, I guess I'll take care of you." And when Obi Wan and Anakin finally got into that fight at the end, and Obi Wan said, "Oh, you're like a brother to me." And if you kind of hear that, it's beautiful. But in Anakin's ears, Anakin's always just wanted a father. He needed a father figure. He needed someone to help him, to guide him, and he never had that. Qui-Gon would have been that for him because he always believed in him, and he always had people who didn't believe in him. And guess who finally believed in him?
Samuel Jackson.
No, he didn't believe in him either. He always thought he didn't believe him until he told him to be a snitch. Samuel Jackson was like, hey, Anakin, be a snitch, bro.
Oh man, do you think that?
No, you didn't answer my question. Who finally believed in him?
Palpatine. I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it was Palpatine. He's the one who finally believed in him. He's the one who finally believed in him. Darth Sidious, he finally believed in him at the end, and he was just like, "You're gonna do great things. Come to the dark side. You're gonna be amazing." And then boom, what happened? He finally had someone to believe in him, and he goes, "All right, I guess I should be in the dark side." Word.
Do you think maybe I was gonna say Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan might have been a little bit, jealous and resentful?
Yeah,
Qui-Gon was so like,
yeah, it was
hey,
like
there's this kid, he's the one. It's like, wait, what?
It was a brother thing. He saw him as a brother. I don't know if he resented him, but he definitely got tired of. You even see it in the movie. He was always like, Anakin was like, "I saved your butt again. I'm always saving your butt." And they have jokes where he's like, "Oh, not that last time." Obi was like, "Not that last time. It was only 10 times, not 11 times." So for sure, he always had that like, "Man, he's better than me. I know he's better than me." So when you have that mentality and you're the one trying to train him, you're not seeing it as you're proud of him. You're seeing it as, oh, he's always saving my butt, instead of being proud of him. So
damn. So maybe if so, there's maybe an alternative universe where if Qui-Gon Jinn doesn't die, Anakin stays good, and maybe Obi Wan turns to the dark side. Think about it. If he was so jealous of Anakin, and if Anakin's getting all support from Qui-Gon Jinn, there's a chance that maybe Palpatine goes, "Hey, Obi, I got you over here."
I know, but I guess the thing is that the only thing Obi Wan has is jealousy? Because the thing is, to go to the dark side, you need hate, anger, and all these different things.
It could have turned into that. They could build a story on that.
No, you can. I'm just elaborating on your thing, because I feel to be the dark side, you need more, and I feel that's why Luke never went to the dark side, because he didn't suffer the way his dad did. Spoiler alert: he didn't suffer the way Anakin did. He didn't suffer, where Anakin had no parents, where Anakin had nothing.
Anakin was a Jedi, and he had resentment. And so did, what's this guy's name? From the new ones, Kylo Ren.
I don't think nobody's talking about those.
Kylo Ren went to the dark side too, and
the new three. You know what happened with the new three? The new three were a disaster, because every time you would have a new director, you didn't have a complete storyline, and it happens the same thing in TV shows. In TV shows, if you just come out with a good show and you don't have a clear ending, you just keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, that's to the point where a series just becomes bad. But if you know from the get, you go, okay, this is what we're going to do, this is where it ends, this is our story, that's where you can come up with a great story. And Star Wars didn't have that. Every episode, 7, 8, and 9 were different, didn't know what they were doing. Every time it gets turned around, I thought it was to its detriment instead of it working out. So when the next 3 that come out, which will probably be soon, because they're gonna just keep monetizing and making money, get one director, have him make all 3, or have 3 directors but have a clear plan. Tell them, hey, this is the storyline, this is what we need.
Could be. Who knows? They might just stick with the shows and not do any movies anymore.
Probably. I hope that they go 10 years without making movies. I really hope that. 10, 15 years without making Star Wars movies. I think one of the beautiful things about Star Wars that brings generations together is that the first ones that came out were the 80s, 79, and 80s. And then the next ones came out early 2000s. And then these came out now. I think that's beautiful. I think that adds to, the lore. And you have grandparents. You have 3 generations of families, 3. So I think it's dope.
So,
did you guys like the Star Wars? Because we do Star Wars talk. If you guys like this, I like Star Wars too much.
Well, one other thing that was announced was Marvel also announced its upcoming, would be Phase 4 and 5, and we got quite a couple of interesting movies and dates released. So we got a date for Black Widow finally after a whole year, May 7th, 2021.
Poor Black Widow. She's the best female character, and they're just.
What sucks? You're absolutely right. She was, and I hate that they killed her because I have.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, everyone out there.
It's funny that we say spoilers and then we say spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Spoiler alert. She dies, and then they make this movie, and I'm not as invested as I would in another movie.
Absolutely.
Because it's something that was obviously happens before, and I don't know. Then I'm just gonna go. There's a bunch here, but I'm just gonna go through the main ones. We have the Spider-Man 3 with this amazing cast, December 17, 2021. So it will be at the end of next year. We have Doctor Strange, March 25th.
What's it called? Does it say the name? I love the
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
That's dope as fuck. I hear rumor it might be rated R.
Man, that'd be
it might be a scary movie.
Well, yeah, that's what they were trying to portray it as, like a horror one.
They want to make it a scary movie.
Thor: Love and Thunder, May 6, 2022, and it's supposed to have the Guardians of the Galaxy in it.
And Natalie Portman as the new Thor.
Natalie Portman. Why is she in both of these topics? I don't think she's a good actress. But that's something else. We have Black Panther 2, July 8th, 2022. That's going to be a big one to see who they finally
I
get.
really don't want them to give it to the sister, man.
Really?
I really want to get to the
You
sister.
don't think
What's her
she
name?
could cut?
Suri in the story?
Suri, yes.
I think Suri should be her own badass character, and I feel they should give it to Michael B. Jordan or somebody else. You know, make it.
You can give Michael B. Jordan any role.
I feel it should be different. Plus, the way you become Black Panther is you have to do the whole fight, and nobody's been talking about that. Everyone just keeps saying, "Oh, give it to Siri," but you got to take the powers away from the person.
Why can't she do it?
Okay, but here's the thing: she can't use her technology. She can't.
Oh, you can? I was gonna say she can use all that.
No, they take everything away from you. They take everything away from you, and they just give you like this. Don't you think people would have armor to be the Black Panther? No, they take everything away from you, and it's just you wearing this, and that's just not realistic. What's that guy's name? The big one, the one who's huge.
No, I forgot his name. I know what you're talking.
You can't put your father like that guy is huge, and I'm supposed to. He is gonna go up there want to fight, and I'm supposed to believe that Siri's gonna go there and whoop him. Even if he says no, I respect you and I want Siri to be the queen.
Could Black Widow go up there and whoop him?
Who?
That guy. See?
I don't know. But even then, I don't think so. I don't know. You're in a little pond next to a waterfall. Even if she does go do some crazy kicks, he'll just bear hug her, grab her, and then throw her. Like I'm not trying to sound. I don't want to see something unrealistic. I just want to know how. And I don't get paid millions of dollars to do this, but I want to know how they're going to do that. Will she be a cool Black Panther? Maybe, sure. I don't know if I'm invested to see her as Black Panther. I think there's plenty of other people who can be Black Panther, but
Michael B. Jordan.
I mean, I know it's not a popular thought, but you can also recast him. Disney said they're not going to, but
that's gonna be a tough recasting. It's just like trying to recast Robert Downey Jr.
But I disagree.
Why?
Because Robert Downey Jr. when he was Iron Man, he was Iron Man, and he started all of this. Black Panther. Chad Boswick, R.I.P. Amazing, like great actor, but as Black Panther, I don't see him as like, oh, he's Black Panther. He is a badass Black Panther, but I don't remember thinking like, oh man, you know, he is Black Panther. Nah, I remember thinking, oh, he's a badass Black Panther. The movie's badass, but I don't remember him being this great like Robert Downey Jr. is, and that's rare. Like
I guess maybe it's because
it's rare. You know, it's hard to find that. There's not many characters who can do it.
But I think it's maybe because his tenure as Black Panther was throughout a couple movies, but they were like back to back to back to back.
I almost cramped.
It wasn't
Lamar Jack. No, for real. And I'm not. I'm sorry.
It wasn't Robert Downey Jr. that spanned it over a decade. So all right. Well, next up we have probably the first billion dollar hit that Marvel Studios had was. So they're going to make another one. Captain Marvel 2, November 11th, 2022.
That's misinformation. That wasn't their first $1 billion hit.
It was?
It was not their first.
Given that was Marvel Studios' first $1 billion hit in 2019.
Whose?
Marvel Studios.
Their first hit in 2019, but it wasn't their first $1 billion movie.
Are you sure?
That's missing. Yeah, it was not their first $1 billion movie.
I don't know. Maybe Captain Marvel came out after. Yeah, you're right. I think it might have been Black Panther, no? Either way, I'm not excited about Captain Marvel 2. I wasn't. The first one was.
Avengers Infinity War was $1 billion 2018.
Infinity War. Oh, that's right.
Avengers Age of Ultron was $1 billion. Black Panther 18 billion. Iron Man 3 hit $1 billion. I mean, that was not their first $1 billion movie.
I don't know. I'm reading a website's information. And either way, that takes away from the fact that I don't think.
Do you realize the strategy on Captain Marvel? That movie's terrible. I'm not going to be over here and that movie's terrible. The only reason why that movie got $1 billion was because they dropped it right before their biggest flipping movie that they have. So people were like, I have to watch this movie so I can know because they're so smart. It was genius strategy. Let's drop this movie right here, right before we drop one of the biggest movies. And if
you really didn't have to watch it. You didn't. I
didn't watch it. I was rewatching all of them. I skipped it. It's not important. I'm not gonna watch this movie.
It was not a good movie.
Not a good movie. It has nothing to do with it being a female movie. And that's the thing, a misconception a lot of people have, that they think we're trashing it because it's a female star, when I cannot wait to see Black Widow.
Well, honestly, my biggest thing is that it's not even like with the content of the movie. It is Brie Larson. I don't think Brie Larson is great in that role.
Oh, the movie sucked. But go ahead.
But I'm saying she didn't help it. Her acting was atrocious. If her acting, put it like this, I'll give you a perfect example. I love the new Spider-Man movies. I don't love Zendaya. I don't think she's a good actor. Her character leaves me so blah when I watch her.
That's her acting.
Yeah, there's no emotion, and that's how I feel about Brie Larson. You know, she should stick to, her serious roles where, she doesn't have to put too much effort in her acting. I don't think she's good. I'm sorry. That might be an unpopular opinion, but I didn't think it helped her. Moving on, we got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
That's going to be fun.
Sometime in 2023.
2 was okay.
2 wasn't bad. It just didn't go with the story.
I feel Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a filler movie. If I can call it something, it was a filler movie.
It was honestly, maybe they might go back to it because it was to introduce, ego and all this other nonsense that they have. But yeah, it could have gone anywhere else. Next up, and we don't have a date for this one yet either. It's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. So we're gonna have like Ant-Man ripping his shirt off. No Hulk Hogan.
No,
whatever. Well, Quantum Mania, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, but the biggest one, and let me make sure, was announced. It's gonna be the 3rd time they do this. They reboot this series, and that is none other than Fantastic Four.
You just skipped Winter Soldier, didn't you?
Well, no, I just went through the movies. I didn't go through the TV shows.
Fantastic Four, a lot of people are tired of it. They don't want to see it. But, guys, remember, now it's Marvel taking care of this. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully we get John Krasinski and his lovely wife. I hate that I forgot her name.
Emily
Blunt. That'll be cool if he can be Mr. Fantastic. And
another movie with both of them, though? Like, come on.
So, they're great. They're awesome. That'll be dope if he can
I like him as Mr. Fantastic. Invisible Woman, we can talk about maybe someone else. She could be in the running. I'm not saying she can't be. But to be like, I think that role is perfect for her, I'm okay.
Fantastic Four reminds me of another great movie called The Brotherhood. Yeah, if it's okay. Z. Shout out to Z, man. I am excited for Marvel movies because they haven't let me down. I'm just nervous to see how they take it. And if there's anything that we know about Marvel, they take their time, and hopefully they continue doing that. Take your time and try to make another good story. So
hopefully, you said exactly that. They take their time. They don't rush it like DC. And we'll see what they do with that. We got the exciting Wonder Woman in a week, I think, right? We're gonna watch.
You guys want us to review that? What do you think?
No, we're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about it. We gotta watch Wonder Woman, and
we got the projector. We'll get the seats.
We gotta talk about how great of a movie it's gonna be.
I did not like part 1, guys. It was a good movie. It was definitely better than Captain Marvel. I just thought the movie had a couple kind of weird. It's just we'll talk about it another time.
A lot of plot holes, just saying.
But yeah, exciting about Marvel. Disney's just coming up with a bunch of different things, man. Honestly, and it's gonna be interesting with 2021 what happens. Since we can't go to the movies, which are going to be missed. I do love going to the movies. I think, and this is you're going to hear it here. You're going to hear it here first. I think this is the death of movie theaters.
I forgot about that one. Into the Spider-Verse 2.
Movie theaters, the way that they're set up now, where you just watch a bunch of different movies there. I think we're going to see, like, company-owned movie movie distributors as Warner Brothers. We're gonna go to the Warner Brothers cinema.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna be AMC or
No,
Cobb?
I think we're gonna
It's gonna be like Paramount Pictures.
We're gonna
theater.
go to Disney Studios cinema. I feel that's how it's gonna be in the long run now. You know, and that's how.
But you know how I said this at the beginning of the pandemic. If they want to come back, they can come back, but they have to stop thinking in the way that they were thinking now. They have to kind of take a step back, see what worked for them at the start.
You're talking about movie theaters?
Yes, and that is pause. Drive-in movie theaters.
Okay.
Come on now. If I don't have to go sit with the whole
Never
thing.
gonna pick up, dude.
But why wouldn't?
Because people don't want to do that.
People do it.
No.
Perfect example. The Dolphins during the pandemic before the season started.
People love football.
No, but they weren't showing football games. They're showing old movies like Back to the Future.
You mean during a pandemic when nothing was open, nothing else to do?
Yeah.
Think about it. There was nothing else to do.
But think about it.
I couldn't go to a bar and drink.
You're absolutely right. But think about it. If you want to go watch I'm not saying let's go watch. I mean, I'll watch Back to the Future any day. But I'm not saying let's go watch Back to the Future again. I'm saying you put your new movies out as in drive-ins. Town Miami Park. It looks like the fair is over. Take all of that off. You can easily put six.
Imagine if it's still streaming. It's gonna. This is not gonna change. I think it's gonna be now. You stream it at your house. Would you go into your car and watch a movie, or would you just stream it from your home on your beautiful TV?
If I could stream it, I'll do that. But
exactly.
But not all the movies are gonna give you that. That's for now.
I'm telling you, that's the future. This year is in a show. If people make money, it's gonna happen.
That's what the key thing is gonna be. If they make money, and what Warner Brothers is doing now, they're not gonna make a lot of money off of that.
People don't want to leave their homes for a movie. Here's the thing: you do the car thing
during a pandemic. I feel like, but I miss the movie theaters.
Yes, the movie. Okay, but here's the thing: you want to get dressed up to go to a movie, get not nice, but you want to go. It's like a date night. You want to get dressed, buy the popcorn, all these things, play the part. But if you're telling me I'm gonna put on whatever to get into a car and watch the movies, I'll just be like, let's stay home. Let's just stay home.
But if you can't do that at home, why would you stay home?
What do you mean I can't do that at home?
If what I'm saying is, okay, let's say after all the streaming thing goes out, and then okay, we didn't make as big of a profit as we wanted to. How do we come back to the movie theaters when people still might not feel like it's safe or
a year
dirty?
from now it's gonna be safe. A year from now, the vaccine. Think about
yes, but
think about how life is. There's always been pandemic. There's always been like a certain.
Yes, but what you're not thinking about is how. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm very different, Jeremy wise, than I was back before this started. I'm sorry. Growing up, we all knew about the 5-second rule. That shit's gone for me now. If I drop something on the floor, I don't care if it's my house. I'm throwing it away.
Yes, but you're still gonna go out. We're gonna go out, bro. Like it's different. You're talking about little things. We're gonna wash our hands more. We're gonna be more conscious. We're not gonna eat from the floor anymore. But we want to go out. We're humans. We're gonna go out. I mean, it's not gonna change.
Okay, but
we're more conscious at the gym.
But think about it. Some people might be like, "Oh man, like they don't." Let's be real. Unless the movie theaters do something drastic, they don't clean those movie theater seats as well as they should. Or the floors,
because they're gonna lower.
If I can just think about I can be in my car. I'm gonna feel comfortable. Put the seat back. I'm watching a movie.
You're gonna stay home. I'm telling you, you're gonna stay home and watch the movie.
I wouldn't stay home
because that's the best thing to do. Instead of, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna make the theater smaller. They're gonna have a big cinema. They're gonna have the chairs like they have been doing now. And the people who really want to go are gonna pay for that premium price, and they're gonna go. There's people out there who love the movies that would pay $20 per ticket. They don't care. All right, so moving on.
It's no longer the 5 second. It's 3-second rule now. Hialeah, stand up.
Last topic, because we are running a little late. CyberPunk 2077 is a new video game that's dropped for the new consoles. This was supposed to be like the new big video game, sort of GTA meets The Witcher, open world game with missions and all this cool stuff in the next gen consoles, and it's been a disaster.
Oh, disaster is the least. Well, I haven't heard really too much complaints from the new gen consoles. It's been the PS4 and the Xbox One that I've heard the most complaints about, and the creators of CyberPunk 2077. went out to say, okay, we're sorry about this for anyone with the PS4 or Xbox One that they're not happy. They can get a refund, right? But they haven't. Xbox has apparently been okay with the refunds because what they're doing is they said yes, but whatever console you have to go through their refund policy. So Xbox is very, very, if there's something like out of their control, they'll go ahead and give you a refund. PlayStation, however, has not been very cordial with that, and they have not been releasing the refunds. So now these guys are like in a bigger mess because of it, and man, that's rough for this game that had so much hype. I was excited. I was a little bit excited, and I'm not normally too excited for games like this. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna get this.
I'm not getting any new game until I get the next console.
Okay, so
I skipped Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I really wanted to get because I'm big on Vikings. Didn't want to get it. Didn't want to use the money on a older gen game.
You should have told me this sooner, bro. I would have not now have to change your Christmas gift.
I mean, if you got it for me, I love it. I'm not gonna pay for it. But if you got me the game, I'll gladly play it. That's different. I don't want to pay for an older gen model when I really want the new system. So I hope CyberPunk, they fix the issues. Luckily, in this new generation, we have where we can just send an update and fix the goddamn issue. It's as easy as that.
You know what their response to it was? The game errors on consoles look more like 97 versus 2077. Their response to it was...
Kenny goes, I have never seen such terrible bugs in games before.
See? Their response to it on Twitter was that they're going to have patches. They did a 2K. We have a couple more patches coming in to, fix the problem.
A couple? A couple? Man, you better...
change the whole game. Advance to 2078.
No. I mean, I know... That's the thing. Is they're a good company, so it's a shame that this is happening. They said they're not going to do the whole loot box thing, that they're going to have downloadable content and DLCs coming out soon that they're not going to charge for. So that these are bright things for gamers, because as gamers we're already getting screwed over and they're just taking our money. So I hope that CyberPunk fixes these issues, to show other companies that we care. So if CyberPunk fixes the issues, they don't have loot boxes and they give us free downloadable content and DLCs, then buy this game, please. Show companies, because it's just ridiculous how all these companies are just screwing us over at this point.
That was for you, Madden, EA.
I don't remember when was the last time I bought a Madden. I used to love Madden. haven't bought a Madden in years, and I think I might give up 2K. I know I think one of these. I think that's it, man. 2K is just taking advantage. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. You literally have cars flying through walls and crashing while you're in a cutscene. That is embarrassing.
That sounds almost as bad as WWE 2K.
And that one was bad, dude.
20. Oh man.